Hello and welcome to the Dominion League Season 69 G Tier Finals. We have Chadnov against Universal Flames. Universal Flames is the higher seed, so they're going first. And the format is first to 3.5. Yeah, I did message Chadnov before this about the hands, but unfortunately they didn't find the right setting. But hopefully we can get that fixed before game 2. I don't think the 5-2 or the 4-3 matters here. Probably both opens a sacrifice page, I would think. Hasty Riverboat is okay, I guess. I mean, it still takes a couple turns before you get the draw. I don't. Yeah, I don't think we need litter here particularly, or hunting lodge. Depends how quickly the travelers go up. One nice thing you can do with travelers is when there's a way you can play it as the way and still exchange it, because the below the line text doesn't change. I think this is probably just another page. Improve is okay. I don't like sheeping the sacrifice. I mean, that must have had 3 estates in it, I'd assume. It seems like a perfect opportunity to trash one. Yeah, I think second page here is probably good. It's kind of a bit of a nothing board. Like, there's nothing amazing to be doing. I guess once you get champion down, then you can get a bunch of guard dogs. Yeah, crown seems good with 5. And then maybe like just get a bunch of grand markets, guard dogs, and province. Yeah, I don't like buying gold here. It's not terrible. Like, it just seems probably worse than crown. See, this is an awkward one. I would probably flip to try and get through the travelers quicker, but yeah, skipping your sacrifice is a bit sad. Oh, that's quite nice. Yeah, that's a clever way of getting grand market. with improve. I think we just play the warrior. Like, I wouldn't worry about drawing things dead. So Chadnov is already at champion, getting some guard dogs, which is nice. I would probably flip this hand. I would definitely flip this hand. I just think the tempo you gain from being able to just stuff a bunch of guard dogs in your deck once you have champion out is like very beneficial. So I would be trying to get to that quickly. Definitely I would gain a crown instead of a gold. And then we can trash estate, take grand market maybe. Or double guard dog. It depends. I mean, we still have to try and draw champion before the guard dogs. So it's a slight risk to put the guard dogs in before you have at least champion in your shuffle. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a nice turn. How much money do we have? 9, 13. I don't like that. I think I'd rather just get more guard dogs. Because unless you can play all your grand markets every turn, you should add more draw instead of more. I mean, I'd even think maybe like with 13 you could go 3 guard dogs plus sacrifice. Would be quite nice. And then, yeah, still improve into grand market. Here, if you crown guard dog, I guess you could have played sacrifice first. Although it didn't actually matter. But yeah, crown guard dog gets you the extra guard dog draw the first time on the first play, which is nice. So we did draw this turn. Definitely want to trash a copper. And then I don't know how much money we'll have. 14, 16, 26. Could be double province, triple guard dog or something. I don't think the riverboat is worth it. It's just like, it's too slow. The cities will be good once you have them, but you buy it, and the next turn you play it, and then the next turn you get the cities. And especially when you don't need the village effect, so it's effectively just draw, and then it might become money if the second pile empties. Yeah, I love it. I guess Chadnov kind of wants to take guard dog because it will power up the riverboats, but also probably opens up a pile out, or at least makes it easier. A bit unfortunate not to find any draw, but there is obviously a lot of treasure in the deck as well. I think we probably just double. Like I don't. There's a lot of draw coming in. I haven't been tracking Chadnov's deck that well, so I don't know whether they could triple. Which would get them a draw, or even triple plus a state. I think they definitely can't quad, so you could take one province and like crown something. Duchy probably isn't necessary this early on, but it's not terrible. Now we can find out what the output is of Chadnov's deck. Wow, that was a lot more than I expected. thing is next turn probably won't work so well because like they had just had so many riverboats coming in for that previous turn. I would sheep the. I don't know if it was actually possible to get down to enough cards. But yeah, you definitely didn't need to play the settlers or all of the guard dogs for draw. You could have, not that it matters, but you definitely could have sheeped a lot more. A very flashy pile out. Nice. All sorted. So 1-0 to Universal Flames. Chadnov to start this game. Where a 5-2 looks a lot. Is that true? The 5-2 is definitely nice. I think it must be a chapel open. Could be chapel old map, maybe chapel silver. Oh, there's a Baker token. Interesting. Quartermaster seems very strong. Like the best draw here is just triggering sheepdogs. So if you can, gain something start of turn with Quartermaster, I guess you can Lost Arts Old Witch as well. Actually, that's not as much fun as the sheepdog deck, but it probably is better, to be honest. I don't like sheepdog in the open because like we're surely opening chapel, and then payload probably could be bakers or just money, and then tools will help us gain the payload. Sheepdog's fun as well because if you've got it in hand when your opponent plays an old witch, you get to draw. I think I would open Quartermaster Chapel. I can see Old Witch Chapel being a thing as well. Yeah, I don't like Cauldron. I think by the time you can reliably curse with Cauldron, the curses are probably gone. Assuming there's an Old Witch. So that's nice that you can trigger the Sheepdog. Yeah, take Chapel, which I like. It's kind of awkward because you want to put the Chapel in this hand to trash your estates, but you also want to trigger your Sheepdog. I'd game, Quartermaster and Sheepdog. So they're doing well without trashing. Obviously, that was contingent on them getting the ideal turn 3 Quartermaster, turn 4 Sheepdog. I think this must be trash 2 coppers for Universal. And you could take an old map. I think Voyage is quite nice here, especially with Quartermaster. It's quite nice. You obviously can't do that much on your Voyage turn, but just being able to gain stuff off Quartermaster is nice. Yeah, I think I've convinced myself. Trash 2 coppers, get old map. They've got all their estates out already as well, so that's very nice. think this should be Aldwych. Especially with how, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess you don't want to trigger their sheepdogs, but they're probably going to trigger them anyway. So, you don't really have to worry about that. And given how behind Chadnov is on thinning, yeah, lost thoughts on the sheepdog is nice as well. They have a lot of them, don't they? I haven't been keeping track of the split, but it could be like 7-3 maybe. Oh, well, 7-3 now, I think. But yeah, they do need to get them off their quartermasters. Um, you might want to take one off and gain something with the quartermaster, so that you can play quartermaster and chapel this turn. But that does risk not drawing, which might be worse. Anyway, for universal, I assume we want to trash. I'm not sure how many though. Like, what do we want to buy? Feasibly, just tools is quite nice. You could trash 4. I'm not sure what you're toolsing, I guess, apart from cauldrons, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, they just take 2 to hand, which is I think sensible. Like the high roll was pretty likely, to be fair, given how many sheepdogs they had. Oh wait, what? Oh, they had 3 quartermasters, so they could. Okay, I'd missed that. Yeah, that's how they. Very nice turn. I guess you start gaining estates. Probably about as good as anything. How much do we have here? 12. Could be like double old map Baker if you want to curse. Lost Arts on Aldwych is quite nice too. I think Chadnov is far enough in front that they can just gain all the estates. I'm not sure they really need, like, I guess an old map is nice for consistency in case you don't draw. I do think they should be trashing more than they are. Like, you don't, you have just like a random 3 and you're buying a silver. I guess, like, they do have quite a lot of draw, but it seems like there's no point risking a potential dud. That's quite funny. The chadnov is actually just not triggering the sheepdogs. Because then they wouldn't get to use the village effect. Not that they need the village effect, I don't think, but they're going to gain something anyway, so they might as well wait. I think they should definitely take old map to hand. Yeah, I get the idea behind Spice Merchant. I don't like buying that estate there. I think yeah, I mean that's an unfortunate dud. I think they could have definitely won with giving out the rest of the curses, like 2 old witches, and 2 cauldron players. But maybe the estate wouldn't have made a difference there anyway. It is 1-all, and we have Sea Witch, Labyrinth, Vineyard, Esquire for plus buy, Harbour Village and Curse Village. I don't think Architect's Guild is that good. I guess on the 2-5 you could open like Sycophant and then Sea Witch and Crucible. Might be quite nice. You get the Labyrinth points and you get to put a Crucible in. On the 4-3, probably Crucible Silver. The copper trashing is quite slow, and also the curse trashing. But I think it has to be worth it. I could see an argument for like Crucible Craftsman as well. I don't know. I'm not really as high on Craftsman as some people, I think. I'd rather just have a silver in a lot of cases. So they did the opening that I liked, which is nice. This probably an alley at this point. I think the cycling is probably more beneficial than another Crucible. We don't really need a village right now. That's fine. This is nice that we see the Sea Witch, because then we can buy another one before, because this Sea Witch is going to miss the shuffle. Chadnov only has 4, which I think could be an alley. This is definitely a sea witch. Sea witch, and I guess, yeah, sycophant is probably good. Not sure you need it, but I mean the favors might come in handy, and you do get the labyrinth points. I think third sea witch is okay. It wouldn't be crazy to get just a regular village or something. I don't think we need curse village here. Like, some of the hexes could be quite annoying, and there's not really draw to X unless you're playing a lot of sycophants, which I guess you could. Yeah, I can see the argument for curse village. I think we just trash 2 coppers. You could take a squire. It's not terrible. Or a sycophant. Yeah, I'm wondering actually how good the draw to X deck is here. Because there's not really much regular draw. Ali and the Sea Witch filtering can help you line stuff up. So actually, I've come around. I now think Curse Village is good here. But I still think third Sea Witch is fine. If we know those bottom 2 cards aren't actions, we should play Squire now for the Harbour Village bonus. But I haven't been trying to remember what those 2 cards are. Yeah, Trash Copper. You could buy Harbour Village. You could buy Alley. I don't like that Sea Witch. I think it's not going to see that much benefit. I guess takes silver. Or buys. Either or. I think there's another Sea Witch down there, isn't there? Yeah, I mean it's okay to trigger that shuffle because you got the Sea Witches coming in. Normally that would be a bit unnecessary. Here we can just curse copper and sycophants are in the trash. So maybe we Don't need Curse Village. I think it's okay though. I could see Craftsman as well. Like I think at this point it's more of a mid game thing for me. Oh, I don't love the gold. And it seems very early for Touchy. Buys a copper. I'm not sure if that was a misclick. But yeah, I mean there's no reason to buy copper, obviously. I mean you can feasibly trash one of your crucibles here. But I also just think like trash 2 coppers, take Craftsman. Um, Ireland, I'm not a huge fan of. I guess they do have a duchy that they could hopefully island away, but that seems a bit slow. And it might not line up. Whereas if you have Ali, then, you know, you can always filter past duchy, in a sense, which is kind of the same as getting an island. But it always works. Maybe a weird analogy, but it makes sense to me. So we're not going to have much money here after the craftsman. So we don't really need buys. But we also don't really want a silver that much. So maybe just do whatever. Trash copper. And you'll have to after craftsman. So you can gain Curse Village and Sycophant, which I think is nice. I've got to be right back. Hopefully the game doesn't end while I'm gone. Okay, what did I miss? Universal Province, chadnov gold. Yeah, I don't think we'll see the the Curse Village deck, but I would be interested to try and play that. I guess we can discard Sycophant and something. We're not going to play Sycophant, are we? And I don't want us to trash it. But I guess trashing it is fine. I still think we've probably got time to do the Cursed Village stuff. I think it's really nice. Not sure that Sea Witch is helping too much. But yeah, it's definitely awkward with the craftsman and not having any real economy. I think we can still, I mean, there's no Sycophants in deck, but we can still put some Cursed Villages. Although, like, you always want to be mindful of locusts, whatever that top card is. But it's not a province, so that's alright. You could also not play Craftsman and trash one and get province, which I definitely don't mind. We could gain gold and something else. Just a harbour village. I think we're just discarding Island Crucible. I wonder how many points Vineyard is worth at the moment. Probably not enough for it to be worth it. Given it's kind of slightly awkward getting plus buys. Although, yeah, I think in the Curse Village deck you can have a bunch of Curse Villages, Craftsmen, Sycophant Squires, Village, Alleys, and then you could probably do your scoring with Vineyard. Yeah, this is that didn't need that much thinking, that decision. So Squire, we'd have 7. I guess this is Duchy. Oh. This is a lot of lowering. Oh, but they... that's got that clever Squire thing that is almost never useful. Yeah, that was a very nice win. I'm very impressed by the quality in this game so far. Rich Groom is actually arguably worse than regular Groom, but also there's not that many things that you want to game with Groom anyway. Yeah, this is slightly a weird kingdom. At least like to get going at the start. The 5-2 is nice. Probably minion Ratcatcher, I would think. Oh no, I don't think we want Familiar on this board particularly. Like the trashing is not great with Ratcatcher, but Familiar is also... I mean, I could be wrong, definitely. But like on a 5-coin opening hand, I think minion just gets you like very nice cycling at the start of the game. Oh, yeah. I didn't even spot the pillage. That's definitely not good. It's definitely slightly difficult to know how to build on this board. Oof. I guess it's okay-ish for the points. It's kind of awkward, Grim. Like, you can just gain rat catchers with it. And the only draw here really is yeah, City Quarter is pretty much the only draw. But these decks just aren't getting thin very quickly, so there's a good chance that it wouldn't line up with any of your other actions. Especially since most of them are Ratcatcher, which end up out of your deck. I guess once you've got to this position, you probably just buy familiar. Yeah, see, this is the kind of city quarter hand that you can kind of expect quite a lot of the time. I think these decks might be less than they started when you factor in the silvers. Didn't call rat catchers to trash the coppers. And now they're unfortunately missing the shuffle, which is a bit annoying. Very nice minion though. Oh, I can smell an estate. There we go. Wow, this city quarter has lived a very sad life. I mean, like, you can probably only hope for like one card of draw, realistically. We've got two piles which are pretty low. The curses will run naturally. I don't know how many more rat catchers will be gained. But I don't really see, like, the other piles could be Groom or, well, I guess realistically Estate, but there's not that many Grooms out there for the Estates to run. So I think we'll get into Provinces at some point. I don't know what's in the discard. But yeah, flipping seemed good there. I might buy Groom, add some pressure. I don't know what else you'd want. Abundance and terrible, but it's not great. Yeah, definitely. I think they have at least two more rat catchers as well, which has helped. The thinning is not happening for chadnov very quickly at all. He got a 38 card deck, which is absolutely massive. I I think probably Ratcatcher Province. Seems good here. I don't hate the city quarter. I think it's reasonably likely to work for Universal. Might as well trash the copper, I think. Definitely don't grim for a state here, because you could just take your city quarter off the top. I guess you could grim for groom or grim for Ratcatcher, and then maybe buy a Grand Marco or something. The city quarter missed as well anyway. I don't think buying a state is helping Chadnov, but maybe they're just trying to end the game. I can see. I think, yeah, just trash one copper. Leave your abundance out. I wouldn't buy an action card. Going for estates, I guess, which isn't. Seems okay. The silvers do just get in the way quite a bit though. Chadnov might as well trash Curse Potion and then flip. And finally we'll see us. Actually, we probably won't see a city call to the draws because this is going to get minioned. It's a very frustrating card, minion. I quite like it because I like draw to X, but I don't like when my opponent has it. I guess you might as well start grooming for estates here. Seems like, yeah, there's got to be a win now. Yeah, definitely thinning was winning there for Universal. So 3-1 now. They just need half a point. And it is their start. I'm assuming 4-3 and 3-4 is just Ferry, Wharf, and buy one. Ironically, it looks like one of the few boards where 5-2 is worse when there's Wharf there. but neither player has that. There is no thinning. And yeah, I mean, I think you just shove wolves into your deck and you can't go that far wrong. Chadnov not buying War of turn 2. I think this is just 2 wolves. You've got a town down there. Berserker does hurt a little bit, but I'm not sure it hurts enough to justify not just taking more wolves there. Because this turn, possibly you could pretty much draw deck and buy a bunch of peddlers with all the buys. That's quite unfortunate. I guess we Berserker again. I assume the Berserker attack is worth more than... Oh, and we can actually get in Peddler as well because the Berserker adds another card in play. Yeah, nowhere near enough wolves being gained. I think they're maybe too worried about terminal collision. Like this can just be 2 wolves. Mm. I'm not sure the extra Berserker is helping that much. And we didn't take many wolves there. Yeah, the powers are definitely low. I think gardens are quite nice here. You could probably get one now if you're imminently worried. But I think you can afford to put something nice into next shuffle and then start scoring. So yeah, this could be like Town Wolf Peddler. That's probably too much lowering. Obviously, looking at Chadnov's hand, they're probably not going to be able to win. I think you can take Warfare. I don't think it's super likely that you lose if you do. And I don't know what else you would take. I really thought Wolves would be the first pile to empty. I'm very surprised. Now we've started buying coppers for the gardens, which isn't crazy. Piles are very, very low. I think Chadnov has too much of a lead. Yeah, they must be able to get. Yeah, I think Universal was probably in the lead at the start, and then they just didn't. They didn't keep adding draw. It seemed. But definitely, kind of a luck-based game, with just shoving draw in and no thinning. Like, to an extent, I would imagine there's quite high variance. Very speedy ironworks open, which I think looks correct. We don't have a village. And the trashing is not very good either. There's either Necromancer or the Idle Boon. But we can trash coppers with mint. Yeah, I think Ironwork Silver is probably quite a nice opening. Like, shoving a bunch of caravans in the deck is probably going to do alright. And I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I feel like I maybe underestimated, but I absolutely hate using Zombie Mason for trashing. So I wouldn't be trying to do that. And then long term, I don't actually know how good Groundskeeper will be, because we only have 2 gains per turn. Yeah, I mean, I can see Pilgrim being better than Tragic Hero. Yeah. You're not really going to use the plus buy that much. I don't think. It's not like we can really build for double province that reliably. Yeah, I mean, we want to just give out a bunch of curses with Idol, try and get a good mint at some point, and then I do think Pilgrim is better than T-Hero. Catacombs is probably alright as well, but probably worse than Pilgrim. That's probably the nicest wins gift I've ever seen off Idol. My wins gifts are never that nice. Yeah, I mean, like, shoving a bunch of idols in is not that bad, but I do think we want some more draw. We can mint idol, which is quite nice. So caravans are empty now. I guess we gain necromancer with ironworks. I think this should be pilgrim. Definitely awkward. I didn't see who got groundskeeper. Oh, that was just last turn for Chadnov. It seems very slow to gain enough groundskeepers for them to actually get you that many points, especially when idle is like only at 1 and the curses are going to run. Definitely scary. Like, you might need to buy a duchy here. I think Necromancer is better than Haven. You don't want to trigger. You don't want to trigger that shuffle. I say as the shuffle gets triggered. That's a really nice Sun's Gift. I'm not sure why you leave mint on top though. That's quite a nice Sky's Gift as well. Universal's really been doing very well off the boons. But I think probably not doing well enough overall. It's tough because you kind of don't really want to be giving out the curses when you're this far behind. But you kind of have to. I don't think you trash here. Unless you trash copper and buy duchy. But you probably can't catch up without giving away the curse. But no second idol is a bit unfortunate. So, was there a win? I didn't see what the win was. Did they have 5? Did they have 5 in hand? Very possibly. Oh yeah. So, yeah, Universal takes that one 4-2. They will be in F next season. So good luck to both players, and thanks for watching.